channel, we talk about reasons or ways you can pass the exam. But in this video, I'm going to talk about 10 reasons or 10 ways you can fail the CELPIP exam. If you know what you're doing wrong, you will be able to do the right thing, and you'll be surprised that you might be doing a lot of the things on this list, as many people do. So listen to the entire list, because at the end, that is the most important tip that I'm going to give you. But if you want to fail the CELPIP exam, follow these 10 steps and I can guarantee you that you will fail the exam. All right, that obviously is me being sarcastic. So don't do these things, but this is what I see students mostly do and mostly fail. The first thing people do is they ignore vocabulary lists. Vocabulary lists are very important. If you don't have good vocab, you will not understand listening and reading. Also, the multiple choice questions have difficult choice of words too, because examiners try to paraphrase the text that is, or the transcript that is in reading and listening. When they try to paraphrase it, they use complex words. If you don't know good words, good vocab, you will lose marks there. You will also lose marks in writing and speaking because you need complex vocabulary. I have emphasized that again and again on this channel. If you don't have that, you will not score good marks in writing and speaking, which are the hardest modules of the CELPIP exam. So if you don't have a vocab list in front of you, you can go to our blog, type 400 CELPIP best words. That is a free list. We also have an additional 400 words, so we have a total word list of 800 words, as well as phrasal verbs, which are included in our course. You can check that out in the description. But you have to start with the vocab list. If you do not practice 20-30 words per day, if you don't learn new words per day, you'll be surprised at the vocab level that is required for the actual exam. So not looking at that and being lazy with that will guarantee your failure. The second way you can fail in the exam is practicing with few mock tests. A lot of you look at 2 or 3 mock tests, either with our course or online, and you think that is enough. That is not enough. You should do as many mock tests as possible, and we offer them on our website, which you can check out. But other than mock test 2, you should keep on preparing your English in general. I started my career first by doing IELTS, then doing CELPIP. When I studied, I did it day and night. I was in the washroom listening to transcripts for IELTS listening. In the bus, I was reading, and at home, of course, I was writing and practicing. There needs to be a lot of effort, not only just doing the mock test in a specific period of time, but listening to English on TV, trying to communicate with people as much as possible, and observing different things like texts that you can find online, for example, news articles. And of course, trying to speak, record yourself, play your voice. There's lots of strategies, but don't limit yourself to mock tests. Practice English in general. The third way you can guarantee your failure is not assessing yourself. I just mentioned you can record and listen to yourself when you speak. That is how you assess your speaking. And when you write, now you can use the AI tool Grammarly, put the writing there, and you can see your grammar mistakes. You will still not be able to see a lot of things like vocab mistakes or task response. For that, you need a teacher, and we can help you with that. But not having that assessment done for especially writing and speaking is where most people don't ever know where they're at or what they need to do. If you need a professional teacher, that is the best way to assess yourself. But because writing and speaking don't have answers, we mostly ignore them and we just write because we're trying to practice writing on time. We're trying to practice speaking just to understand the format, but who is assessing you? Get a teacher or assess yourself. Not doing that will cause you a lot of harm. The fourth thing is assessing reading and listening. Now, this is separate. It's a separate tip because reading and listening have answers, right? You have the answer sheet, but people skip over their correct and sometimes incorrect answers. Incorrect answers, I don't understand why people skip over it. You have to check it. You have to go back and see the passage if you're reading, or play the recording again and listen to it. Why did you get it wrong? If you don't understand why you got it wrong, you will not be able to correct it the next time. You'll just make the same mistake again. So I don't understand when people don't go back and see why their answer is wrong. That just absolutely you have to do this. But also correct answers too. If your answer is correct, you have to go back and see why it is correct. Sometimes we get the correct answers with educated guesses. We were not sure, but fortunately we got lucky and we got it correct. But if it's so uncertain, it's your job to go up and make sure it doesn't happen again. Next time your correct answer should be with 100% confidence. So if you have done things correctly, check them as well. How were they correct and how you can replicate the same format, the same structure the next time. Next thing is assuming the exam is easy. This is a huge mistake. Unfortunately, people being misled by online forums and online tests. The exam is not easy. If you think it's easy and you go in, you'll be surprised with the results you get. You need to have an extremely high level of English language and absolutely no mistakes if you're talking about a 9 or more. So it's not easy. Don't assume it's easy. The next thing is, again, a follow-up to that, listening to online samples. When you see or hear speaking recordings and people say that this is going to score 9, 10, 11, and they're full of mistakes, the student is saying they're monotone, they're grammar mistakes, they're not going to score 9, 10, 11. If there are writing samples, people are saying this is going to score so much, it's not going to score so much. Most online samples are misleading, and that's why I highly recommend using HZad Education's resources like our course in the description below, which guides you to exactly the right format you need. If it's too easy, and people say you're getting good marks with that, you should be in doubt. You should be suspicious. It's not that easy. Number 7, do the exam in 2 days. Book the exam 2 days before before your preparation time, essentially. So you want to do the CELPIP exam, someone told you, you book it now, Saturday is 2 days away, and you're ready. No, 2 days are not enough. 2 to 3 days are not enough for your exam. You should at least have a week. A week will be very good for you, very sufficient. But it's better to have 2 to 3 weeks. And if you have a lot of time, 4 to 6 weeks is a blessing. The more time you give to your study, the better it is, but don't rush it. Rushing will guarantee your failure. Going to point number 8, do not apply learnings in your actual writing, speaking, reading, listening. What I mean by that is, if you are looking at a vocab list, you learn 20 words today, and in the next 5 days, you learn 100 words. You will notice when you write or speak, you don't use a single word. And that's because you have separated the idea of me just learning a vocab list on this 2 to 3 p.m. slot per day. But when you're writing and speaking, you're not thinking about what you have learned. If you made a grammar mistake, your teacher fixed it for you, you looked at it yourself, you know this is your grammar mistake. In the next attempt you make a writing or you do speaking, you want to focus on that when you're speaking or writing. Most people just do it the same way, right? But when you proofread your writing, why don't you look at the same grammar mistake? Ensure that the same mistake has not been repeated. So apply the learnings that you're getting. That is obvious for improvement, but a lot of people don't do it. They do things that are in their comfort zone. All right. The second last thing that will make you fail is not understanding the strategies for each module. This is easily fixable. Go to our videos, check out my reading video, listening, writing, speaking. I have so many videos here that mention the specific strategy you need for each module. Just like, for example, for reading, you have to look at the question first, then go in the passage, then look at the options. Why this works, again, you have to check out my reading videos for this explanation. And then in every part, there's a slightly different strategy. There's a strategy for writing. You just cannot go and write whatever you want. You need a paragraph structure. Strategy for speaking, how you can break down your points. If you don't have the strategy for each module, you're just doing it as an English test and you're not CELPIP strategy specific, you'll fail. Simple as that. The 10th thing is not having enough resources. If you're not practicing with the best online resources, such as our course that you can check out in the description, you're going to fail. Obviously, it's simple. If you're not having good practice, materials, resources, or guides, you will fail. You have to ensure you don't have that problem. Our course right now is at a 20% discount. Link is in the description. Check it out. That will ensure you don't fail again. But if you do follow all these things to the T, you can guarantee your failure. And you don't want to do that. So if you like this video, please like, share, and subscribe. We'll talk very soon. Take care.